It's about freaking time. Somebody had to do it. Somebody had to jump the gun and just say, bleh, here we go. It's time to rock and roll. We've got that announcement plus a new Rayman game confirmed by Ubisoft, Nintendo dipping their toes into hotels and restaurants and more. So good morning, Mario. Good morning, Switch fans. Who the heck is sick and tired of Nintendo refusing to announce Switch 2? Me, you, and everybody else. Even people that are blue. Everybody needs Nintendo to announce this system, especially game devs. You know how frustrating it must be to have spent the last few years working on a Switch 2 game and you're like, Nintendo. We are checking the internet regularly. We are waiting for Nintendo Switch 2. Developers literally have dev kits and have been making games, and Nintendo will not announce the system, so they cannot announce their games. That has to be infuriating, especially because we believe that the Switch 2 has been internally delayed at least once, maybe twice, and so this thing probably should have been announced by now. Thankfully, somebody got sick of it and just said, boop, time to go. So what's going on, everybody? It's Zach from SwitchForce. Hit that like button if you enjoy these videos. First off, I want to warn you that Yakuza Kiwami came out on Nintendo Switch today, and based on what I've read, it's not so great. The performance is what struggles most. This feels like a less than stellar port, with frame rates dipping down into the tens and teens. Not ideal, especially for a game that is being ported over, it seems, from the PS3, and a Yakuza game that I would say is not as interesting or as fun as the more recent entries. It's cool that Yakuza is on Switch. It's cool that they put it at an affordable, nice price point. It seems like the performance and the overall port of the game leaves a lot to be desired. There's a chance they could patch it post-launch and make it something that we revisit and something that is worth picking up, but right now it's like pretty hard to recommend unless you've just been so thirsty for Yakuza on Switch. You could easily play it on Steam Deck or play it on PS3 or play one of the new ones, which are actually pretty darn cool. I think this is a hard pass from me. Spooky food which has descended to save you the stress of planning, shopping, and cooking your meals. This food which is sponsored by Factor, the best way to eat delicious, chef-prepared, high-quality meals in 2 minutes flat. They've even got smoothies, protein shakes, juices, and more. Do you want to eat like this guy or this guy? Clearly, you want to eat like that guy, and all you have to do is pop the film, put it in the microwave, 2 minutes flat, and you're ready to dine like a fine ghoul this fall season. So make sure to get 50% off your first Factor box and 20% off your next month of orders using my link below. Click the link in the description or scan the QR code with your phone to get in on what is going to be a lifesaver as we move towards the holidays. Nobody's got time to make delicious food, but everybody wants it. Nobody's got money to go get takeout every night, but people want that restaurant quality food. And with 35 different options each week, amazing ingredients, and awesome tasting everything, Factor is by far the #1 choice for you, your family, your friends, your significant other, and boy, oh boy, has it made this food witch jolly and full with delicious steak, carrots, chicken, seafood, and yeah, even this guy is happy as well. So make sure to click that link every time you do. It helps support the channel. I super appreciate it, and start eating in style with me and Factor. This is pretty cool to me. I love Nintendo expanding beyond just games. Like, Nintendo is my favorite. They've been my favorite since I was little, and I've always wanted to go to a Nintendo theme park. Boom, they made it happen. I've always wanted to see a Nintendo movie. Boom, they made it happen. And those things were surprisingly successful. Looks like Nintendo might be trying to do even more. They've got a store, they've got a film franchise, they've got 2 theme parks, 3 theme parks, and now maybe hotels and restaurants. Nintendo has filed a bunch of Class 43 trademarks that are for accommodations and food, restaurants, and hotels. Specifically, they've trademarked Splatoon, Pikmin, Animal Crossing, and some Smash Bros stuff that would make for super sick hotels. Okay, just dream with me for a second here. An Animal Crossing hotel. Game over. That's incredible. That's the perfect fit. Now, I don't believe these hotels would be tied in line with Universal's theme parks. It seems like if these were to exist, it would be something that kind of was a standalone affair, and let's be honest, it's probably a Japan thing, which means most of us probably wouldn't get to experience it, barring a bucket list trip, but I'm down for a Pikmin restaurant. I'm down for a Splatoon restaurant. I'm down for a Smash Bros themed hotel. Nintendo can continue to bite off more and more as they build their empire bigger and beyond the video game confines. They're doing it with the Mario Bros. Movie franchise. We got a Zelda movie coming sometime soon, and we obviously have the theme parks with another one opening in Orlando, May of next year. I'm down for this. Nintendo, keep expanding, keep doing your thing. I want to stay at the Animal Crossing Hotel. Now, when I stay at this awesome AC hotel, I better have a Switch 2. I better have a Switch 2 because Nintendo didn't want to announce it this week. Feels like next week is the last hurrah for 2024, but somebody got sick of it. Somebody got sick of it, and thank goodness, because we're all sick of it. We're all very tired. And while people are live streaming the playtest and getting shut down by Nintendo, so dumb, don't do that. We already know what the secret playtest is, but don't live stream it. Don't post video. You're just going to get shut down and possibly worse, depending on how aggressive Nintendo wants to be. But alas, while everybody's going chaotic, waiting for the Switch 2, doing crazy things, Yukai Replay is just saying it's coming on Switch 2. They posted a trailer today, and man, they must have got permission from Nintendo. Either that or lawyers have been in conversation all day long because they are making the most obvious hint towards Switch 2 of anybody yet. They are saying this is coming out on Xbox, PlayStation 5, and Nintendo, and they've got eyeballs all over that Nintendo logo because it's not the Switch logo, it's not a future system, it's not coming to other platforms once it releases, it is Nintendo. And that's because they can't say Switch 2 or whatever the final name of that product is. And they've got the eyeballs there to let you know, like, we are waiting for it, you are waiting for it, we want it to be announced. Now, some have taken this to mean maybe the system is very close to being announced because clearly they had to let Nintendo know or get some sort of clearance from Nintendo. Like, hey, we're going to do this. Are you okay with it? Yukai Replay and the folks over at Playtonic have put a lot of their titles out on Switch, and it seems like they do very well on Switch. I don't think it's logical for them to sabotage their relationship with Nintendo just for a tongue-in-cheek eyeball joke and just to really let people know this is coming to Switch 2 when, you know, we can guess that a lot of games are coming to Switch 2. They just don't have the balls to say it or they don't have the legal right to say it. But clearly, they have a dev kit. Clearly, they're in close cahoots with Nintendo. Clearly, this is coming to Switch 2, and thank goodness somebody said it. Now, I don't personally think that there necessarily has to be a tie between this getting announced and the Switch 2 being revealed soon. I think it's very possible, and hopefully, fingers freaking crossed, likely that the Switch 2 gets unveiled soon. But I think there's a world where they just got this tongue-in-cheek approved because everybody knows the Switch 2 is coming. Nintendo is not shy about saying there's a future Switch in existence. They just won't tell us what exactly it is, when it's coming out, how much it costs, what games are coming out for it. Nobody can really talk about that yet, but Yukai Replay found a way around it, and I'm proud of them for it. But I do buy into the idea that they probably ran this by Nintendo and got the okay. And if that means that the Switch 2 reveal is actually really close, right around the corner, like next week, our final straw for 2024 probably, I'd be so happy. But it might not mean that. It might mean that they just wanted to let you know it's on Switch 2. And I guess that is a bummer, but that would be okay as well. Nintendo just announced this thing. Like, everybody's getting so sick of it. And I think at one point you do cross the threshold of like being super annoying. It's not going to impact their sales. It's not going to impact the hype and the articles and the coverage once the Switch 2 does finally get revealed. But we're kind of at a point where it's like, dudes, if you don't talk about it soon, it's going to be a little bit of spite. Just a little bit. Like, I can't deny we're all going to be freaking out when the Switch 2 gets unveiled. Whether it's today, tomorrow, next year. We're all going to be there for that moment. And we're not going to skip out on it because Nintendo held back. But it is starting to get super annoying. And I imagine developers are feeling the same way. Publishers are feeling the same way. Like, we got to talk about this stuff. We got to market this stuff. We want to get our work out there. We want to be proud of what we're developing for your new system. And you won't announce your new system. The cool part is the floodgates will probably be just overwhelming once this thing gets announced. You're probably going to see a ton of games all at once be like confirmed, boom, 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 for Nintendo Switch 2, and that will be really fun. One of those games could be a new Rayman game because Ubisoft does confirm that there's a new Rayman game in the exploration phase, okay? Michel Ancel is consulting, which is great, as he is the Rayman creator. They say that it could be a remake or it could be a new game. It's being worked on by the Montpellier and Milan Ubisoft studios, and it supposedly has some of the Prince of Persia Lost Crown team, which I give like rah, tons of fist pumps for because that game is fantastic. And if those people are indeed going to be disbanded, if it's not going to be that, hey, they get to continue working on POP, put them on Rayman. They have talent, they have chops, and they can make something magical happen with the guy with detached limbs. I'd love for another Rayman game to come out. There's been a dearth of Rayman lately. We had a nice resurgence in the Wii and Wii U era. I don't really think we need a remake. Like, supposedly, there's going to be a remaster of Rayman 3, according to Brazil, and yesterday's video. If you missed that one, check it out, about all the remasters coming to Switch 1 in 2025. I think it's time for a new Rayman. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. Are you down for a new Rayman? Would you play that on your Switch 2, especially from the Prince of Persia Lost Crown team? Are you glad Yukai Replay just went out there and said it? Instead of waiting and waiting like we've all been waiting and waiting, and hopefully in some weird world this does nudge Nintendo, or at least shows that they're moving towards plans for an announcement, because no September Direct, no games in 2025, secret playtest. What are you doing? Investor call coming up in less than 10 days. It's exhausting waiting for this system, but I love being a part of all of this with you. Thanks for welcoming me into your homes. Thanks for welcoming me into your homes, your ears, your eyeballs for the last 7.5 years of Switch, and hopefully for 7.5 more. But in the meantime, everybody, stay safe, stay healthy, stay happy, stay positive out there. Love you lots. Keep our fingers crossed, and we'll keep waiting. Until next time, SwitchForce out.